This video is called I Built a Huge Lego Zoo with Over 100 Animals. This is posted by Brad Brick's Post. He made it 2 years ago with 13 million views. He wrote in the description, in this video I make a zoo out of Lego parts and try to complete the challenge of having over 100 animals, and it's spread across all 10 base plates. There are zookeeper minifigures, lions, bears, giraffes, elephants, and more. Very cool. This is going to be a good video to watch. I don't think Lego zoos get enough love. I don't think many people are trying to make box of them.
In this video, I'm setting up a huge Lego zoo with a ton of different habitats, from the Arctic to the African savanna. However, the challenge is to fit a total of 100 animals across all
Look at the
10 of these
bears.
base plates, so stick around to see the final product at the end. So I figured the best place to begin would be the park entrance, so I whipped up this
I think
green
some of the
one that has
coolest
these leaves
figures in
bordering it
Lego
to give it that
is
natural
animals.
feel,
They've done an
along
awesome
with
job
this
making
statue
them.
of a parrot and some zookeepers to greet the guests as they arrive.
Nice. Look
Our
at
first
that.
exhibit on this base
That's
plate is
awesome.
going to be an aviary. To give it a cool shape, I'm using these big curved pieces
Ooh.
for the roof. Lego has released a ton of awesome birds over the years, so I picked
They
out
have,
some of the coolest
definitely.
I have in my collection and built them up some trees to live in. For a cool technique, you can use this fur scarf piece as a bird nest on the branches.
who's that
And I
figure?
added this map that gives information on
Old
where
man
the birds
fits the
live
scene
that
very
the
well.
zookeeper is explaining in a demonstration. And that completes our first base plate with a total of 13 birds.
Nice.
Our next exhibit is going
cool
to
that
be
he
one
updates
for a
us on how
family of
many animals he's
crocodiles.
using.
So I set up this swampy exhibit for them to live in. The family has this cute baby, a vintage crocodile, and one of the newer style. When I was a kid,
I was about to
I
say,
couldn't bring
where's
up
the
crocodiles without
fence
talking
gonna be?
about
'Cause,
Steve
like,
Irwin,
those guys
who
gotta be
inspired
enclosed.
so
They
many
can't
of us
just
to
be
go out
hanging
and
out in the
explore
zoo.
nature while teaching everyone about all of its cool creatures. So I made this minifigure of him to work in our zoo where he wrestles the crocodiles.
This is a great demonstration of how dangerous they are.
Right next door, we have a more peaceful exhibit. One for a couple of horses that are nice enough to let the guests
Okay.
pet them. And
That's a wild combination. Alligators next to horses. We'll let it slide, but that's just
to
wild.
give them some hay to snack on. Now,
So
giraffes are
funny.
some of the most popular animals
Yes,
at the
do we
zoo,
have Lego
so those are what
giraffes
I
or what?
decided to include next. Lego released their first molded version in this set, but since I don't have it,
Ooh.
we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way, brick built, which turned out looking
Okay.
a lot better than expected. So I made this baby version as well, both of which are based
They
on this
actually look
safari
pretty
set.
good.
You can adjust the head, neck, legs, and tail on them. To finish this base plate, I gave them a water hole, and with those 7 animals, we're up to 20.
Sometimes brick build is
For
nicer
a bonus
than
fact,
like
giraffe
a
kicks are
minifigure
absolutely
build
brutal,
style.
able to kick a lion's head clean off, making them formidably dangerous to any predators. The
I like
next
the
base plate
RuneScape attack
continues
damage
down the
there.
same path with a large enclosure that's going to be an exhibit for monkeys, as well as this cool little
Ooh,
sloth
look at the
gun.
variety
To
of
keep them
monkeys.
busy, I stocked
I like
up
the
trees
original
with
ones from, like,
bananas
the
and set
pirate
up a
sets.
playground. They can swing on this chain, play on this jungle gym, and hang from these monkey bars.
The sloth. Nice.
And we'll just ignore the fact that the fences are way too low to hold them in, basically inviting them to break out.
Fair enough. Use your imagination, more or less, right?
Hey!
Next to them, we're using these green and tan plates to set up a field that looks like the African savanna, where our lions will live. I have an adult male,
Ooh.
female, and 2
That's
cute little
cool.
cubs. And since everyone loves the Lion King, I also included this custom version of Zazu. We still have a small spot left on this base plate, which is perfect for this single camel that I have. So I built
Ooh,
up
nice
this
little
desert
camel
area
ride?
that has this cactus, which camels actually eat.
Or maybe not. Maybe just a camel display.
So
Either
we
way,
can
that's
snack
really
on
cool.
that. And so he wouldn't be totally alone, I added this scorpion.
I think that's the first scorpion he's used.
And after closing him in, we finished another base plate with 15 animals. But let's pause on this segment for
Total
now.
35
a lot
so
of
far.
zoos have amphibian, reptile, and insect
Yeah,
exhibits
where's
that
the
are
snakes
inside of
at and the
buildings that keep
froggies?
all of the animals behind glass. So the next thing I did was whip up this one where we'll keep ours.
Whoa.
I tried to use a bunch of different clear pieces to make the pins look interesting. So we have domes with spiders and this half cylinder that holds a couple of snakes. And I used that
These
same
are some
design
really
for this
cool
frog
ideas.
enclosure as well. Getting to use all the different frog colors was fun because poison dart frogs are some of the coolest animals I've ever seen, and I was obsessed with them as a kid. This map shows some information about where the snakes lay their eggs, and this zookeeper is trying to give a demonstration, but is scared to death of snakes.
How can you be
After
scared of
finishing the
snakes while
roof,
holding
there was
one?
just enough room left on our base plate to start our zoo's Arctic and Antarctic sections.
Finish dishwasher cleaner removes grease and limescale in its hidden parts to keep it performing its best.
So far, this is a pretty cool build. It's actually going to end up being pretty big too, to fit all 100
So I laid down
animals.
some snow and built a quick exhibit for this saber-toothed tiger because in LEGO City, they've mastered the science of bringing back extinct animals. Just don't get too close.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
Yeah, that's not an animal you want to get too close to.
Next to him, I used some more railing and snow to set up this Arctic wolf exhibit using these husky pieces that are
Ooh.
cool because each of their prints are unique looking. And with that plate done, we've added another 17 animals. Across from it, we'll
Nice.
continue our cold exhibit with the polar bears. For this one, I wanted to build
We're gonna
one
get
of those
back into
really
some
cool
more of the
versions
bigger
that
animals,
allow
I
you
think,
to see
now.
the polar bears as they swim around underwater. So I started by building up this snowy area for the top of it.
Ooh,
I
look at
then
those
built
polar
up this
bears. Actually
huge
take
tank with this
pics.
glass viewing area where you can see the polar bears swimming around trying to catch fish or posing for the guests. I also added a platform and ladder on the side to give the visitors a viewing area at the top of the exhibit. And overall, this ended up being one of my favorite displays for the entire zoo.
So far, it's one of the best ones that he's actually made. It just, the aesthetic
Next
look
to
of
the
it is
polar bears,
really
we're
good.
adding in some penguins, even though they
Penguins!
technically
Let's
live on
go!
opposite ends of the earth. At our zoo, they live inside of this
Little
igloo and
igloo?
can slide around all day.
Nice.
LEGO
That's real
recently
cool.
released this cool set with some seals,
seals.
so I did a speed run to Walmart and picked it up. It comes
course
with
you
an
did.
adult and a baby one, as well as this cool minifigure, and they'll live right next to the penguins in our zoo. And with the seals finished, we can combine these two plates together to finish off our zoo's cold region. Another
Awesome.
fun part about going to the zoo is getting to look at all the cool souvenirs and gift shops. So we're setting one up back
Yeah,
by the
you
park
do have to have a
entrance.
gift shop.
It has this thatched leafy roof that sits at an angle on top of it, and inside you'll find some shirts to buy as well as some stuffed animals. There's also this animal balloon and this ancient fossil inside of this glass case. To top it off, I added a worker and a cash register. Right next to the gift shop, I also set up this safari cabana style restaurant.
When it's all said and
with this
done, I want
chef
to
that
see
is
him
cooking
add
on
like a
this
ton of
grill.
minifigures of just like civilians walking around, just enjoying the zoo
Out in front
itself.
of it, there's a seating
Like
area where you
this.
can order
This
a
is pretty cool.
variety of different delicious foods. I had a bit of extra space, so I added this python exhibit, giving us a grand total of 1 animal on this base plate. Back on the path from earlier, we're continuing with the bear
Yes,
exhibit.
the
So
regular
I started by building
bears.
them this cave to live
Look at
in
the
that
little
can
bear
fit them
toddlers.
really well.
I think
And
those are
since
from like the
bears
Friends
often live in
series.
the woods near streams and rivers, we're going to build a waterfall within their pen, giving them the chance to catch and eat some delicious salmon. Next to the bears, we're continuing another part of our savannah exhibit with an enclosure for a family of leopards. One cool thing about them is that they rest up in trees, where they sometimes drag their prey and are able to blend in, hiding from other predators like hyenas and lions. So I built up this acacia tree that's big enough to hold one of our leopards in it. And with that, we've finished another segment of the path around our zoo.
But first, let's take a selfie.
Ooh. Of course she falls in. I was expecting the leopard to
Elephants are
actually
another
like
one
just
of the
water
most
run or
famous
something like that.
zoo animals, so I knew I had to include them. And once again,
Yes,
LEGO has released them
elephants.
before, but I don't have any, and they're like $26 a piece. So I decided
Not
to build one
cheap.
myself, and I'm glad I did because I really like how it turned out with these movable legs, trunk, and tail. And I liked it.
You almost
well enough
wonder,
that I went
like,
ahead
should
and
he
built
have
not
just
one,
done
but
brick
2 more
buildables
younger
for
elephants
all
to
the
make a small
animals,
herd.
or
And
is it
according to
fine just to
Google,
have a little
elephants get
mixture of
along with
both?
giraffes, so we'll
Guess
go
it's not
ahead
the
and
end of the
have them
world.
live together in our zoo, since
Brick
they're
builds
both
look pretty
brick-built.
decent, though.
For a bonus
Especially
fact,
next to the
African
giraffes there.
elephants are the biggest land animals in the world, with the world record one being a whopping 24,000 pounds. That's nearly 11,000 kilograms. That's the same as 5 Ford F-150s. On the opposite end of the spectrum, LEGO has also released a ton of small, cute animals over the years. So for our next section, we're gonna
I've
use
gotten
bunch
quite a few of
set
those
up
from
a
buying
petting
thrift
zoo
store
area.
bags recently.
And for the habitat, I added in a bunch of pretty flowers and
I don't
trees
have like
that
a
I thought would
hedgehog.
look
I think
pretty
that's
good
what that
with it.
is.
So we're
I don't have
currently at
those.
89
I got
animals,
bunnies
and we
though.
still have 2 base plates left to go. And for our last section,
little
we're going to
dogs.
be focusing on aquatic animals. So we'll start by setting up a huge pool where these
Ooh,
dolphins can
turtles.
perform alongside these trainers. On the inside of the pool, I added in these rings that the dolphins can jump through. And on the outside, there are some stickers for extra details. I then added in some stands that can fit a lot of minifigures who want to watch the show. Since I didn't have a better place for them, I also included this otter as another one of the performers, since they're the type of animal that likes to show off. But that still only puts us at 94 animals, so we'll have to finish the zoo with this last base plate, where we'll be setting up a huge aquarium made of a ton of these clear blue pieces. Inside of it, I wanted to include as many
Hey, they
sea
actually
creatures
have
as
quite a
possible,
few, like,
including a
sharks and
shark,
stuff.
sawfish, and octopus, as well as this family
Sawfish.
of turtles.
Is
and
that
a
the
lot
one in
of
the
other
top right?
smaller animals.
Ooh,
And
like the
after setting
membrane
up a
thing
ton
from
of coral and
TMNT?
other
That's
plants
kinda
on
like
the
a
floor of
different,
the
like,
aquarium, I was able to fit
add-on.
in a total of 14 sea creatures, pushing us all the way up to 108 animals. The top of the aquarium looked pretty flat, so I rounded
Those
it out
blue
and added in this
translucent
statue of a
pieces or
shark.
transparent
And just
pieces
because
that
we
he
had a big bit of
views
extra
kind of
space
make that
left,
whole
I
display
added in
there.
this park bench, as well as this cool butterfly sanctuary that includes an extra 6 bugs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the finished
Look at
zoo.
that.
We have hundreds of guests having fun, walking around, looking
Ooh.
at all the different exhibits.
Look at the
trying to
Disney
find their
ducks they
favorite
have.
animals. Some are going on tours, while others are exploring on their own.
This is really
Even
cool.
though this was the
And it's
biggest
not
challenge I've
overly
ever had for
big
this
either.
channel,
It's like the
I think
perfect
the entire
size.
thing turned out pretty good in the end and was worth it. Let
Yeah.
me know down in the comments which
Look at that. They got Scrooge the duck. They got, is it Donald and Donald Duck? And like the little ones, the little brothers and stuff. That's cool. This is honestly a awesome mock. I think this was a great job done. Let's give it a like. I always forget. Great video though.